Lieber Igor Levit, we're only 2 months into 2024, and you've already played a dozen concerts across 4 countries. I believe you're in Heidelberg currently, traveling. And thank you for taking the time to talk about your North American tour that will take you to Ann Arbor, Toronto, Montreal, and Cleveland.
That's right.
There are musicians who are known for concentrating on one or two composers, and I'm here in the Glen Gould city, Toronto, where the next word automatically is Bach. With you, one never quite knows what one gets, except something surprising and outstanding, and often a German repertoire. In Toronto, at the Royal Conservatory of Music's Kerner Hall, you're playing Mahler, Hindemith, and Beethoven, and okay, Beethoven is one of your favorites, I would say. At other concerts this month, though, you are playing different pieces, I think some Brahms. So in broad strokes, how do your programs come about? Do you curate them according to mood, rhythm, technical challenge, or perhaps whim? And more specifically after that, how do this late Mahler, early Hindemith, and this late Beethoven create an afternoon or an evening concert?
First of all, thanks for having me. And I think Toronto will be quite fun. It's also my birthday, so yeah,
we'll have
you
to
better try. That's right. Look, it's quite simple. There is no such thing as a concept. Sometimes I would, sometimes someone would throw in a piece, and which I would hear about in a conversation, and I would think, wait a second, that's interesting. Let me think about that. Sometimes I would work on one piece and by chance find another one. Sometimes it's also a conversation with the promoter. In fact, the Hindemith came back into my active playing. I've played this piece years and years and years ago, pretty often, already when I was a student. The Hindemith came back because Clive Givenson, the man who runs the Carnegie Hall, New York, has told me that they do they have like a focus on Weimar, the German Republic, the Weimar Republic. And I thought, what would be a good idea? So I was thinking about music from the 1920s, and he asked me, would you like to take part in this Weimar focus as well as just playing a recital? And I thought, yeah, I would like to, because actually I really do love the music from that time, and I did play a lot of it. And so I thought about the Hindemith. Boom, here comes the Hindemith. Then I thought, hang on, I'm also playing this Mahler piece, which I adore, which in this piano transcription by someone I adore even more, who's Ronald Stevenson. We can speak about that later, about him later. Well, that's a piece which was written in a time on the brink to catastrophe, right? So we're speaking about, the world is getting darker and darker and darker, yet we don't really know what's about to happen. We just know the catastrophe is about to happen, right? And so I thought that would be a good idea to combine these two. And then I thought to play these two pieces and bring this program to the peak, which is the Beethoven's Eroica Symphony, which has such a magnificent, heated, intense political background, right? So basically, that's how this specific program I came up with. It was, at the end of the day, it was Clive's fault.
Okay, we'll blame him. And that's so right. People who don't know that, the Beethoven's Eroica, if I get that right, the background is basically one of revolutionary disappointment, right? Like, because Beethoven, right. I'll let you just give us the gist of it. Beethoven wrote it with one intention and finished it with another.
Well, he wrote it with the intention to dedicate the piece to Napoleon. And then when he saw what Napoleon was doing, he scratched out the dedication. But again, look, I am not a child of Beethoven's time. I'm a child of my own time. So I'm not playing this piece having Napoleon in mind. I'm not even playing Hindemith having the 1920s in mind. I'm playing these pieces having my very own time in mind. And so the past is just 50% of what matters to me, if at all. I would say it's 30 to 70. My own time is challenging and interesting and heated enough.
Yeah, and we can all sit there and think about the story that you will be telling us with
That's right.
these three pieces, right? Which gets me maybe to a next contextual question. So citizen, European, pianist, in that order is what the profile that pops up when one visits your website. And you famously told the weekly newspaper Die Zeit, I don't just want to be the man who presses the keys. We all know you're not.
This is a long time ago, but yeah.
Yeah, but well, still holds, I guess. But clearly, I mean, your form of expression, your language has been music since age 3, or probably since birth, right? Does music do something unique for you? And then perhaps by extension, your audience, does music speak louder than words to maybe riff on your latest release, Mendelssohn's
First of all,
without words?
what music does, what any music I play or whoever performs does to the people in the audience is up to the people in the audience. I will not speculate about that. It's in the most beautiful sense, not of any of my business. And it's your business. These are your feelings, your truths, your beliefs, your thoughts, not my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And look, music has so many possibilities and talents and gifts and magic, tools. It has the ability to do almost anything. It doesn't have to do anything at the same time. It's free. It's available to all of us, but none of us possesses it, which I think is an incredible beauty about it. I can only speak about what it does to me. And the answer to that question is, well, that depends, right? That's the answer. It depends on the day, on the mood, on the circumstance, on the context. A particular piece can do something good to me today and do something really bad to me tomorrow. But bad meaning it can hurt my feeling. It can make me sad. And today it can bring me joy. It's just always floating and it's unexpected. What it does day after day after day is it makes me feel alive. It makes me feel human almost as much as other human beings make me feel alive and human. This is maybe the one thing which in a way inspires me more than music. It's the people who I dearly love and who are around me. But this has always been the case with me.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I'll quickly throw you in the shoes of interpreter, but also audience member. And given that we're having this conversation between Germany and Canada right now, I wanted to briefly digress and ask you about a contemporary Canadian colleague I know you admire. That's the pianist Marc-André Hamelin. Do you remember when and how you first came across him and his work?
Yeah, I was a student.
What fascinates you about his art? Apparently to this day, right? Your friends and writers.
I was a student when I began to be interested in all kinds of unknown piano music, right? And somehow the distance between I'm really curious about very unknown music to wow, who is Marc-André Hamelin was a very short one. And I mean, I was probably maybe 14 years old when I first discovered him. And I got really, I mean, I got madly in love with his artistry. I was collecting his recordings, literally collecting them. And the day I mean, before I could afford buying them, I would ask the library in the university to buy them. I was inhaling his records, anything he would do, from Rzewski to Roslavec to Kapustin to you know, Grammaté to Alcon to this, but also Brahms and Haydn and Reger and Busoni and yeah, you name it and you name it, right? Liszt and Mozart. I was just there was something mad about my interest and my fandom, to honesty. And I remember the day when I heard him, when I saw him in concert for the first time. That was in the city of Bremen in Germany, and he played Franz Liszt's, among others, he played Liszt's Totentanz, and I believe the first piano concerto, but I'm not sure. And I went to see him backstage. And that was the first time we met. Then we haven't seen each
When
other
was
for
that?
years.
When
I
you were
can't,
still a
I
student?
can't even remember.
Yeah.
This is like 2000, I don't know, 7, 6, something like that. And years later, he came to Heidelberg to the Spring Festival, to the one I'm now co-directing. And yeah, and I was, you know, and I met one of my heroes, which meant the world to me. But he remained being one of my very most important musical idols and someone I really cherish as a colleague. And I must say, until this day, whatever recording he puts out, I'm buying this recording. So, you know, in a way, nothing has changed.
So you have the full archive. If we ever need to Hamelin program, we'll come to you, Igor.
Actually, I do. I do.
You did just give me another keyword, and that's being a student, being at university in Hanover. You teach at the conservatory in Hanover, where you yourself studied, and I think where your mother teaches or used to teach, right? What concerns does the next generation of musicians, what questions or topics do your students bring to you? What do they care about? Where's your craft
Everybody cares about something else. It's really the truth. I can't answer you that question, but I can tell you that when I teach, I've got, in a way, I've got only one goal, which is I would like to strengthen my students for the time when the days of being a student are over. Because while you are inside the university, you've got the best life. You are fully protected. You can explore yourself. You can explore your possibilities. You can try things out. You can make mistakes. And you're not in danger, right? Some of the students, and I was the same, tend to forget that. And I'm reminding them of that.
Yeah, and you only know that when you're out of the system, right? It's like hindsight.
And the day you are out of the system, there's a great but also a very cruel world not waiting for you. Nobody's waiting for you.
Yeah.
And so I'm telling them, you can do whatever you want. You can turn a piece upside down. You can play a slow Beethoven movement fast. You can play a C major piece in E minor. You can do you can do whatever you want, but I want you to tell me why you do what you do and how you got there. And most of them can't tell. They would tell, well, I feel like that. And then I would come in and say, well, if I feel like that, that's all you've got, the world will eat you alive. You have to be able to stand your ground as an artist. And so over these years where we are working together, my one goal is not to teach them how to play piano, because most of them are pretty damn good piano players.
Yeah.
In some regards, they can do things much better than I could at that time. And in some regards, they're already way ahead of what I am able to do physically. But what I'm trying to what I'm trying to give them is I'm trying to fill their box of tools, words, ideas, just make them stronger, right? Make them more confident, make them more aware of who they want to be, and prepare them for the day when they walk out of that school and a very cold wind will blow right into their faces. Because let's face it, the world is fantastic, and it's a very potentially a very cruel place. I don't want to sound like, you know, this fantastic scene from Rocky Balboa when Stallone gives this monologue to his son, but you know what? It's a great monologue, and there's some truth.
A good monologue. I'll play it to my mom. You're right. Yeah. We'll leave a larger sort of the future of the industry conversation for another time. You already sort of spilled the beans. Your concert in Toronto is special in that it's your own birthday party. What are you looking forward to in this new year of your life? What are your plans? Is there anything special? It's wide open.
No idea. I'm not making plans. I'm not making plans.
It's maybe not the
Grow
time.
my beard longer. I don't know.
We're looking forward to celebrating. I just realized, yes, we should probably get ready to sing ourselves then. I hope there'll be an encore after Beethoven's Eroica, because I'm the one in the audience shouting Mendelssohn. So get ready for that, Igor.
Let's see about that.
Let's see about that. Thank you very much, Igor Levit. See you at Kerner Hall in Toronto.
See you soon.
Safe travels.
Thanks.